Hello everyone. The announcement of the Canadian Disability Benefit was met with disappointment for several reasons. Foremost, the provision of $200 a month falls short in addressing the soaring rental costs that have far exceeded this amount. The responsibility for the rapid inflation can be attributed to both the federal and provincial governments, which over the past 40 years have implemented housing policies that have contributed to a deficit of approximately 6 million homes. This shortage is further aggravated by inadequate regulation of corporate landlords. While some people may point to immigration policies as a factor, the root issue remains the scarcity of housing, which pits vulnerable demographic groups against each other over limited resources. This competition for scarce resources even relies on scorecards to get a roof over your head. How sad has our society become when we pit one person's vulnerability against another person's in order to decide who gets help and who gets left out? Secondly, the Government of Canada committed to the United Nations to end disability poverty seems undermined by the language used in the legislation. The phrase "reduce poverty" signals a lack of commitment to fully eradicate poverty among the disabled. This is concerning, especially since the disabled community has been enduring severe poverty, which has been exacerbated by the recent rental crisis. Thus, an aid of $200 is not only insufficient, it is also belated. Thirdly, the entire process, from the Senate's input to the PBO's report, inferred a benefit of substance. To use an analogy, disabled people came to expect Star Wars: A New Hope, but instead got Plan 9 from outer space. It is not by accident that I mentioned the ultimate B-budget movie in the same breath as our D-budget benefit. Ed Wood meet Chrystia Freeland. Critics might argue that we should be grateful for the support received, but such a stance contradicts the very essence of our social contract and the inherent promises made to every individual. Whether one is born healthy and later experiences disability, or is born with a disability, each person is entitled to a share in the wealth built by our ancestors. This wealth is not just material, but includes the infrastructure and community services that enhance our collective quality of life. Success, therefore, should not be measured merely by wealth, but by the well-being and happiness of the population. Every person, whether a billionaire or someone with disabilities, holds intrinsic values to our society. We are each expected to contribute in our own way. Some contribute wealth, while others offer empathy gained through personal trials, or wisdoms forged from lifelong challenges. Society's purpose is not solely to accumulate wealth, but to foster kindness and mutual respect. Today's benefit, unfortunately, did not live up to the anticipation or promises hoped for, nor did it recognize the rights and dignity of disabled individuals. Hence, what was meant to be a positive step forward is perceived as a shortfall. As for the Conservative Party, when you live in vulnerable poverty, you cannot choose to believe in the power of trickle-down economics and all that is promised by plutocrats. Instead, you have a real view of who the economy does and doesn't serve. You cannot afford to be a useful idiot that is cynically used by those who wish to provide the wealthy with more power and privilege than they already have. Lastly, I believe that if you punish a person for doing good deeds, that will ensure they do not attempt another good deed. If there are politicians that thought $200 a month was a wonderful gesture, you are seriously misinformed by your staff, and that is a shame for everyone connected to the CBD. It is great to get some help, but for the government to live up to its agreement with the United Nations, some help does not meet the standard agreed to. I hope you are all doing well, and that the stress is not too great at this time of year. I'm also hoping things will get better in the near future. Have a good day. Goodbye.